Am I the bad guy for calling my wife and skirt on our wedding day? I 28 male and my wife 26 female got married last Wednesday, and the ceremony was amazing. My wife was very strict on the fact that no guest is allowed to wear white. The reception was going well too, until I noticed my wife walking over to the bathroom with her face held in her hands. I could tell my wife was upset. I saw my wife sitting on the floor with mascara running down her cheeks. I asked what was wrong, and she told me that one of our nephews was wearing white jeans and a white bow tie. I immediately thought to myself how she was completely overreacting, because he's a 6-year-old child and had no idea that you can't wear white to a wedding. I told her she was overreacting, but in a much nicer way, and I said that she should go enjoy the reception. After a while I saw her talking to my sister, the mom of our nephew. I thought she was just making conversation. An hour later my sister pulled me aside and berated me for my wife's behavior. She said my wife had asked her and her son to leave unless she had a change of clothes for him. This was far from okay to me. My wife said she was completely in the right for what she asked. I told her that if she kicks my family out, then I will happily leave too. My wife started crying again. My wife's been staying with her mother since the wedding, and we haven't spoken once.
My husband wanted a divorce until he lost his job. My husband, 34 male, and I, 38 female, have been married for 6 years. We have had our ups and downs, but the biggest down is how he speaks to me. I just had our son 1 year ago. When I was 10 months postpartum, he was telling Annie I am fat and lazy, and all I do is take care of the baby and work, as I still had baby weight on navigating new routines, work, and caring for our baby. O&D 4 other children while working 40 hours a week. On my birthday, he demanded I not leave the house or he would divorce me. Just so happened my daughter had an appointment for her teeth. The morning of my birthday, so I took her. He didn't even say hello to me and slept in his game room. He has been sleeping there since. It's been 2 months. He told everyone he was divorcing me, spoke to an attorney, and everything. Before even telling me he wanted a divorce. He told me I was not the prize. I'm almost 40 and have 4 kids. He said Hayes the prize, Hayes in his prime and makes good money. And any women would love to be in my shoes and take care of his kids. He said Hayes the prize, Hayes in his prime and makes good money. Fast forward, he loses his job and telling me to wait to move. He then starts talking nicer to me and acting different than before. I told him I was still moving out and going forward with separating. Now Hayes going around saying I am a gold digger. And leave as soon as he loses his job. Hayes saying he wanted to try to make it work. But I am the one choosing to leave to all his family and friends.
Am I the bad guy for blocking my sister after her wedding? My sister is getting married this year. Her and her fiancé, both older, in their early 30s. Let's call them Fifi and Bruno. They have been together for 13 years. The day that they picked was on our father and his sister's birthday. Fifi is what we all like to call a control freak. She made everything about her. If I did well in something, she would say it was handed to me. My sister has been my third parent, my whole life, my bully. When she did something wrong, she would blame me instead. I thought when we got older, a lot of our childhood behaviors would disappear. But she hasn't changed. When my sister started planning her wedding, she told me I could invite a friend, which I thought was nice. At this point, I am only a few weeks away from my sister's wedding. Many things have happened between then. Things that have really upset me are about my dress, and that she wants me to show up a few hours before the actual ceremony, even though I'm not a part of the bridal party at all. Months ago when Fifi gave the invitation to me, I showed her pictures of my dress, and got the okay from Fifi herself. As long as I'm comfortable, she was good with it. A few months after getting the almighty thumbs up from Fifi, she messaged me out of the blue. She said that wearing black to the wedding means I'm in mourning for her relationship, and that the slit in the dress would mean I would look I was not shocked. She suggested I wear red. I told her she's going in on traditional color palettes for weddings. Then red means that you are blanking the husband. She then suggested 2 of the most awful colors possible, mustard yellow or bubblegum pink. I reassured her that it wouldn't be straight black, as there would also be another color underneath. A beautiful maroon skirt, since I don't like showing my legs, and the slit in the dress is high. Keep in mind I am not super skinny. My sister came back a few weeks later and said, you have to lose at least 100 pounds to 200 pounds before the wedding, because I don't want people to think you're pregnant. Told her it was rude to ask and also impossible, given how close we are to the date. I love the way I am and don't feel the need to change myself. The final strike happened a few weeks later. 5 in the morning, I awoke to my ringing phone. It was Fifi. She started yelling, you haven't RSVP'd yet. She screamed you need to RSVP, you and your boyfriend are coming to my wedding, right? I sat up and told her nothing came in the mail for me to RSVP. She screamed. It breaks my heart to do this to her, because she is my sister. But over the past few years, Fifi has only shown me how much I'm no longer even included in her world.
Am I the bad guy for not removing a tattoo for my future husband? I, 44 female, am getting eloped too. My future husband, 46 male, in October. The issue he has is with a tattoo I got with my previous husband. Back when I was 18, I met my first husband. We had 2 kids and a great life. We agreed that when we were together for 20 years, we would get matching tattoos on our ring fingers. We were both big Star Wars fans, so we got matching I love you and I know tattoos. They are simple and beautiful and replaced all rings. 16 months later, my husband passed in a car accident on a trip for work. I never intended to date or marry again. 2 years after my husband's death, I met a consultant at work, Trevor. It was a little fast, but after about a year together, he proposed. We have been figuring out where to honeymoon, looking at places in Europe. When he mentioned my tattoo, he asked if I was going to cover it up. I looked at him weird and told him no. I said that this was essentially a memorial tattoo for my deceased husband and was the only one I had for him. He offered to pay for me to get another tattoo for him, and then get the one on my ring finger removed or covered. He claimed that finger was for the ring with my husband, and it felt a little odd to share me with my first husband. I told him that my first husband will always be a part of me, and I didn't want to remove it. Since my first husband had the matching one in the same location, this past Christmas Trevor got me a $500 gift card for a tattoo removal. He thought I could get the same phrase somewhere else, and have a clean slate on that finger for our life together. Trevor has never been controlling or cared. About the rest of my tattoos, I have over 20.
Am I the bad guy for calling 911 on a 2-year-old? I called 911 because the 2-year was running around an apartment complex parking lot only in a diaper and socks alone. I called 911, I work night shift, and this was 2 p.m. in the afternoon. I got up and took my dog out to go outside before I did. I heard kid noises, I couldn't tell what it was. I take my dog out, see no kids. She goes and does her business and turn around and go back inside, as I do. I hear the same noises and turn around and see a little 2-year-old. He had no clothes on besides socks and diaper in the middle of December. No sign of parents, and this kid is in the middle of the road. We see the kid and some gentleman walk up following. We asked if he knew the kid. He shook his head and told us no. I said I'm calling 911 and did. I gave my location and I ran back up to catch the kid. As did the gentleman, and older man joined in too. He didn't know the child either, so we all were confused. Cops show up, naturally a mess. We give the kid to the officers and I stay back. People all came out, found what unit the little kid is in. Turns out same building as me, but above and to the back. I stay around and walk back up to the cops. I felt bad as I saw the mum show up, and she said she had just left and was around the corner. 2 other residents told me they'd rather be safe than sorry too. And don't blame me for calling 911. But also I still felt bad and guilty of potentially wasting police resources, causing a scene, and creating distress and disturbance. Especially because if the mom was truly around the corner, maybe she was just about to get back.
Am I the bad guy for not going to my sister's wedding? I am a 22-year-old woman, and I have 2 sisters aged 25 and 29. My oldest sister, Emily, decided on a destination wedding with rooms costing a minimum of $2,500 for a 3-night stay, which was the required minimum. Determined to attend Emily's wedding, I took on a second job, adding another 20 hours to my already full-time schedule of 45 to 50 hours a week. On top of being a full-time college student, Emily made it clear that she would not forgive any of us if we missed her wedding. Emily wanted me to be a bridesmaid. I explained that I couldn't manage the costs of both the trip and the bridesmaid expenses, but she offered to cover this obstacle. She later takes part of my refund from the trip from the money I paid towards it, to cover the cost of the bridesmaid dress and other fees, as they were non-refundable. On Christmas, I found myself unable to join the family gift exchange, due to its budget far exceeding what I could afford. My family assured me my presence at the holiday dinner was what truly mattered. Given my numerous food allergies, I was touched my family members committed to preparing a meal for me. The day took an unexpected turn when my sister Emily served a dish that was tampered with ingredients I am allergic to. The family's laughter turned into confessions. They had orchestrated this as just a joke or an experiment, as they were in disbelief of the severity of my allergies. I left immediately, heartbroken. I had to go to the hospital the next day, as I could not stop vomiting and my stomach was in so much pain. I ultimately decided to block my family. They keep saying I am mad that they gave me a small stomachache and I should forgive them. Should I?
Am I the bad guy for not having a wedding? I, 31 female, and my husband, 29 male, have been together for 9 years, married for 6. We never had a wedding and honestly do not regret it. We went to the courthouse because we wanted to get all the legal stuff and paperwork done, and then plan a wedding later, as there is a lot to do when you marry someone in the military. We were planning on having one the year after, but 3 months later I found out I was pregnant. And then COVID happened and shut the world down, so our plans were postponed. The year after, he got stationed elsewhere, so we moved away from my family. Ever since my family found out we were coming back, they had been pushing us to have a wedding. Or as my mom says, a vow renewal. Since we had gotten married at the courthouse, it would not be considered a wedding. In all honesty, neither of us really want to. Over the past few years, my husband's sisters got married and mine did as well, and I was more involved with hers. Seeing the stress they all went through definitely doesn't make me want to have one. My family is pushing us to do it, and my mom says I owe it to my dad. We are getting more and more pressure to do it before he gets stationed elsewhere. I am ready to tell my family that it will never happen, period, and when we do a little vow renewal it will just be us and our kids.
Am I the bad guy for putting trash in Amazon packages? I live in a relatively bad neighborhood, and packages of mine get stolen a lot. So I started having my packages delivered to my workplace. For kicks and giggles, I decided to take the empty packages and fill them with garbage, and leave a heartfelt note on the inside of the boxes for the thief, and put them outside of my apartment building. Fast forward an hour and they're already gone. The next day, I'm taking out my trash, and I see those boxes crushed up in the recycling bin. The tape visibly kept. I spoke to my landlord and mentioned something about it. I never thought that it would have been my neighbors who would have stole them.
Am I the bad guy for slapping my grandpa? When I was 13, female went to a family wedding recently with my mom, dad, and my 9-year-old sister. Me and my sister were bridesmaids. We both wore short dresses that showed our shoulders. The bride picked them. My mom and her dad, my grandpa, have never really had a good relationship. She says he was controlling and cold when she was growing up. At the reception, my grandpa started making weird comments. At first, he said girls shouldn't dress like that. Then later he said something about me, looking like I'm asking for trouble. That really creeped me out. I tried to ignore him, but then he put his hand on my shoulder and leaned in close to whisper, "Young girls need to be careful with their bodies." Grandpa laughed like it was a joke. I just snapped. I slapped him across the face. Everyone at the table gasped, and my mom immediately dragged me outside. My grandpa acted super offended, saying I disrespected him and assaulted an old man. My mom wasn't even mad at me. She knew how he could be. Other relatives are saying I was out of line for hitting an 80-year-old.
My future mother-in-law drives me crazy. I'm 46 female and engaged to 47 male. We've known each other 40 years. His mom, my future mill, as I said, drives me crazy. A year ago my finances stepdad passed away. Shortly after that my fiancé lost part of his leg. My mill was making him clean and make dinner 2 days after he got out of the hospital. Mill got a small settlement and survivor benefits. A few months ago she began to fall for one of those scammers claiming to be a celebrity. He was supposedly madly in love with her and he's claiming to need her to send him money, so he doesn't lose his house because he's in the hospital. She sent him nearly her entire check for the last 5 months. All their utilities are now off and they lost their stove due to non-payment. She refuses to listen and insists that he really is who he says he is and really does love her. She's insistent wherever fiancé goes she goes, no exceptions. So when he came to stay with me temporarily because I broke my ankle she insisted on coming with. Even bringing her dog. She'll get upset when in cleaning or doing anything she'll ask if and I want help and I always say no. If she really wants to help she can take her dog out and clean up after him. So here I am, broken ankle trying to clean up after her dog myself. My house smells horrible because she only takes him out twice a day. He's also one of those people who has no volume control, she yells constantly. My house smells horrible, I've nearly fallen multiple times trying to clean up after the dog. There's no way I can do this full time, it's nerve-wracking.
Am I the bad guy for not having dinner with my dad and his girlfriend? I am 27 female, father 47 male. He has an on-again, off-again girlfriend who will call M for about 16 months. Their relationship is one of the most immature and toxic relationships I've ever seen. About 6 months into their relationship they broke up. I'm unsure the reason why, but following this breakup, M made a Facebook post about my dad on a "Are we dating the same guy?" Facebook group. In this post M was blasting my dad, calling him things like an alcoholic, a drug addict, and a walking red flag for being unmarried. Apparently she then begged for his forgiveness and showered him with love and kind words. Every time they break up my dad vents to me about how she is a crazy and doesn't know what she wants. And when they're together they're in love and it's the best relationship he's ever had. My boyfriend and I took time off work to go visit my dad in my hometown. I currently live about 6 hours away so I don't get a lot of chances to see him or visit. Apparently M's Sun 12 spring break is the same week that I'm planning to visit. And they are planning a last-minute trip to the Virgin Islands. My dad brought up how nice it would be for all of us, including my sister, M and M's son, to have dinner together. I said I would rather spend the one day I get having dinner with just us, meaning me, my boyfriend, my dad, and my sister. My dad was not okay with excluding M from the dinner plan and stated that she's a part of our family now. He made some remarks about how he accepted my boyfriend, so why can't I accept his girlfriend? We've been dating for 3 years consistently with plans to be engaged soon. My sister doesn't like M either and has met her several times along with her son. My dad has called me immature for refusing to have dinner and said that it's my choice if I want to exclude myself from his life.